Okay. All right, now we back with a fan favorite. My grandma. How you doing today?
Doing good.
You good?
Doing good.
Okay. So after the last interview, my audience they've been on me. They like, man, when you bringing your grandma back, you better bring your grandma back. We love hearing from her. And so this time they say, man, let us send you questions to ask her, right?
Okay.
They got some stuff they want to know. But first, the first person that sent me a question to ask you was actually my dad, your son.
Okay.
He said, ask Grandma Cat about when she hurt her leg when she was little, who took her to the hospital.
He'll want me to answer that very surely because that's a big question.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you anyway, when I was a little girl, I stuck a nail through my kneecap. Whew. My mama.
Yeah, you can answer it or do whatever because I can edit out.
My mama put a load of coal oil on it. It blistered it real bad. Because we lived in the when I struck the nail. When I stuck the nail in it, we lived in the I put sand in it to stop it from bleeding. And then when it swelled up, my mama knows, she bathed it and put coal oil on it. It blistered real bad. At that time, Clyde and Bunny Parker were staying there, which they would come there from time to time. They had I don't know what the name of it, but I believe it was a cream colored car and had Roma seat back there. So at night, from various times, they would come and stay. We didn't know who they were. I don't think nobody knew or what. But they'd come in and they'd stay, and they took me to the doctor at night in Corsa County.
Okay.
We lived right off of 7 when we get to the river. And they were living there. They had come in and had been there for a few weeks, days or so. They took me to Dr. Orr.
Okay, so let me ask you.
Corsa County.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Why they take you to the doctor?
Because my mama had put coal oil on it and it blistered and my knee swelled up real bad.
Okay.
But it was dark, it was at night. But Clyde told me Dr. Orr's office was upstairs. And he carried me upstairs. And they would come from time to time and stay for a week, few days. You know, we didn't know. They were just people.
Right.
We lived a mile and a half. We lived about a half a mile off of 287. And from time to time, people would be drifting, and I guess they'd have a house and they'd come. Most time they would live there for a week, year, and for years.
Right. So, but they was always kind of on the go.
They was always on the go.
Okay. And you said at the time
they weren't family, or they were just people that were drifting. And they come there and they work for my mama and dad. And
trade with them?
Yeah, it was a farm where my mama and dad and his brothers and sisters owned our land. And they had houses on our land.
Okay.
They owned their own land and each one of them had their own house.
Okay. So I know you said at the time y'all didn't know who they were. When did you find out who they were? Like
after I got grown and moved forward.
Really?
That's when I found out. Well, yeah, I guess we had moved forward when I really knew who they were.
Right.
When they kept talking about them.
Like on the news and on the radio.
Yeah, like on the news. And then, at that time, we didn't have a lot of stuff to show pictures and stuff. At that time, when I seen pictures and things. I said, oh, I don't know these people. But there was so much publicity behind it till I was afraid to say anything that I know.
Right.
That this had happened.
So you was, by this time you said, I'm not telling nobody I know these people.
I'm not telling nobody I know these people.
Right. That's actually funny because that's honestly some American history. Like, you know, that's crazy. So, they had, like I said, they had this kind here was kind of cream curd called no, but they had a Roman seat. I don't know what they even make Roman seat was called, but at that time that's what they called a Roman seat. And they would ride me around on the phone in this car, and I'd be playing back there, you know. And we would they always made a pattern on the front porch and slept on the front porch. And they stayed there like 2 weeks. Right. So they were obviously, or maybe not at that point, but I know they was kind of on the run from the law.
Yeah, but we didn't know it.
Right, y'all didn't know. Right.
And
But
we lived a long ways from any city or town, and
that's
it
what
was just a farm.
That's what I was getting at, is that where y'all were living is a perfect spot for somebody to hide out at that time, because it ain't no police or nothing around here. It's just families of people. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So another person told me, another person, I don't know what part of the country they from, but they said, ask your grandmother this. Okay, when you was explaining how you grew up, where you grew up, your background, last interview, they heard you say something about somebody marrying an Indian woman, right?
Yeah, my grandfather, my grandmother was an Indian woman.
Okay, so there's a group of black people right now who say that we're not from Africa. That we are actually Native American Indians that were here first, and then they started enslaving people and stuff like that. So they told me to ask you, pretty much, did you know, or did you grow up knowing that like your grandmother was Indian, or did you see other Native American Indians that identified as black?
No.
Okay.
I was taught, well, I knew because you could tell by the look at some of my aunts and uncles and things. My grandpa then was in slavery. So whenever they freed them, they all got together and figured out what the name would be if they ever see each other again. And they went in different directions. And my family came to Texas. Coming on the way to Texas from, I think it was in Alabama, somewhere in that part of the country, they picked up my grandfather and his brother, picked up 2 Indian women that were twin sisters and married them and brought to Texas.
Oh, okay. So they just kind of along the way met them and whatnot, and
met them, married them.
Okay.
I guess married them or something, you know. Married and
had kids and all that. Okay. Okay. So yeah, no, it's just honestly, like I say, a lot of the times that group of people, they anytime they hear, especially somebody like you who knows some history, when they hear you say Indian or Native American, they go crazy because they use that to say, see, she said that her grandma was Indian, so that's proof that we come from Indians and not Africans. Yeah. But I don't think that's proof.
Well, we had, I guess it must have been my grandmother, I don't know whether they were her sisters too, but when I was left, I can remember them coming to our house. Like you go on vacation, they come to our house and they'll stay a week or 2 and go back.
Right. Okay. So yeah, and they were
Indian women.
Okay.
They were, well, you know, like that.
Right. Okay. So
but my grandmother, had deceased, they would come and see my grandmother's children, which was my father and his sisters and brothers. They would come and stay with me.
Okay. So, all right. So, towards the end of our last interview, we talked about church. We talked about God and all of that. One of my subscribers asked your grandma when she first became, because it's fair to say you're a Christian, right? Okay. When did she first become a Christian? Like, where did she first hear? Where did she get it from? Where did she hear about Christianity from?
From my mother and father and family. All of my family, my aunties, my uncles, and everybody in that community went to church. Everybody. It wasn't like men didn't go to church in that community. Most men, all of them I knew of, went to church with their family. All of them had a bunch of children and grandchildren, and everybody went to church. So all I knew was religion in my early days. But now, remember, I got grown, and I went to clubs, I went to dances, I loved B.B. King, Bobby Blue Blood, all them people.
Right.
But I never left church.
Right.
Now, at one point, I didn't go as often as I was taught to go. At one point in my life, well, I went to church with my mother and father. My father was a deacon. My mama was a big missionary worker. So I had to go to church at everything. You know, I went to Sunday school, I went to BYPU, I went to morning service, evening service, whatever.
Got to every service. Yeah.
To every service. So in my lifetime, I said if I ever did go over, I ain't never go to church no more. But it's in your point in your life, you try that.
Right.
You try not going no more in your life. But if you notice, in my life, it seemed like nothing bad, critical didn't happen, but it just wasn't right. It just didn't feel right, you know. And when I went back to church, regular, I had a different outlook.
Right.
I wanted to go to church all the time. It wasn't that I would never go to church no more.
Okay. So it also it was a part of the story where you corrected me because I talked about you and my papa moving in and having kids, and you said we got married.
We got married
and had kids.
We got married
and
look,
the girls in the comments, they say that's right, Granny, get them together. So so anyway, that question is now like, hey, as far as people nowadays, like marriage really isn't a big thing nowadays. Now people just have kids and everything like that. Y'all didn't do that in your time, huh?
No.
Why not?
It was a disgrace for a girl to come up pregnant and didn't get married to the father at that time. There was like you wasn't being raised right. Nobody watching their daughter or something like that. And then here was a lot of people that was made get married. They call them shotgun weddings.
Yep, I've heard of that.
They call them shotgun weddings. That means that she got pregnant and you didn't marry her. The parents made you get married.
Right.
So they call it shotgun wedding.
Right, okay. Okay.
So that's what it was. They're like, I got pregnant, but whoever I got pregnant by didn't want to marry me, or I didn't want to marry him. But they would the parents will come together and insist on you getting married. And that's what they call the shotgun wedding.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, and it was a disgrace. People, like if a girl in the family came up pregnant, they would send them out of town to have a baby. To, you know.
Cut down, save face on the public embarrassment that it caused.
Yeah. We say it wasn't a lot of telegram. It was telegram, and that was about all. You know, letters. You could write a letter. We didn't have phone where you could just call them, this and that, you know. So if my sister, say my older sister, she come up pregnant, and she wasn't gonna get married, and they sent her to California to a cousin, a relative, till she had a baby. And sometimes they would get that baby away and come back, you know.
Right.
They would just, you know, they wouldn't acknowledge it.
Right. Wow.
They didn't want to acknowledge it. That's what I said. They didn't want to acknowledge it back in the day.
That's crazy. So, as far as like the shotgun wedding, had you ever seen a case where the parents are trying to force them, but they just don't get married, or they always got married?
I've never seen it, but I had a first cousin, and she got children now, and we're very close, and they had a shotgun wedding. The family side.
Okay.
So she's both of them are dead now.
Right.
Both of them are deceased now, but they have some children. They had 16 children.
Wow. Wow.
Had 16 children, but it was a shotgun wedding. But it was kind of like a not real wedding.
Right.
Because it was something he didn't want to do, and I think she felt guilty because he had to do it.
Right.
So he stayed out of town working and stuff, and he had other kids by other women, but he bought the first wife. They bought a house, a big house. You know, he never took care of the children that good.
Right.
But he was around.
Right. Okay. So that also brings the question. A lot of people, and I know you said earlier they talk about this kind of stuff at the beauty shop, but they like, okay, what's Grandma Kat's outlook on gender roles, right? As far as what role the man is supposed to play in the house versus the woman. How is that supposed to go?
To my version, and that is just my opinion, I feel like a man should be head of the household.
Okay.
That's what I believe. I believe that a woman should be second to the household.
Second in command.
Taking in command.
Yeah.
If he's not there, she's in command. If he's not there, he's in command. But both of them, he should be partnership equal. Now, first, I need a roof. I think the husband needs to take care of that. You know, not that he don't consult it with his wife. So, baby, we need a roof. It's gonna take this amount of money. What do you think, and when you think we'll be able to get it fixed? That sort of thing. I think you should go to church. Man should lead his family to church. They should go to the same church. He should be the leader to his wife and his children. I think he should set an example before his children. His wife already knows. You know, be a man. Don't let your children see you smoking dope. Don't let you see your children running women. You got this woman today and another woman, and you got a wife at home. I believe in respect. I believe in respect. And if you respect yourself, not to stoop to lower, dishonest This means for, and low down dirty things, I don't think a man should do it.
Right.
He should have a conscience better do. No, yeah, that look good. I can laugh because my buddy doing it, but I don't want to do it because it ain't right.
Right.
That's my opinion. But I think men always should be leader. Yeah. He should make decisions. I don't think I should go. The wife should go out and buy a car, and the husband don't know she finna buy it.
Right.
You know.
Right. Okay. So, where this question comes from a lot with my generation is, we don't remember because we didn't see it, but we always hear about a time where, women didn't have to work. Yeah. And the men and women stayed home.
Telling you, I told you I paid for that food for that dinner.
Yeah, I lived that life.
Right.
See, during the time when my mama and my aunties and their families and things come up on the farm in the country, they didn't allow women to work.
Right.
They didn't allow women. My mama stayed at home. She didn't know what going to the field was. Unless she just walked around out there and looked like she was just Ann.
Right.
And that's what the neighbor did.
Right.
We raised cotton and corn and, with some of everything, peanuts, what's called. And if they were picking cotton, they stayed at home. Now, my mama would cook and like, my brother, my dad and my brothers, they would come in and eat lunch. But the other field hands and stuff, maybe would stay in the field, up on the shade tree, on the wagon, or something other. They spread out the cotton till lunch and eat it there.
Right.
Because my father them would do it if it was a long way from home, but they was at home. And my auntie, and them auntie. My auntie, she didn't do much cooking.
Right.
She lived like the rich folk. But her oldest daughter did cook. And for everybody, so that all the time.
Right.
And cleaning and stuff. So she walk around and this was my daddy's sister.
Right.
And we lived close to my daddy's sister. And it was me and my two cousins, and somebody lived on the farm, son. And she would kind of babysit us, or we just be up on the feet all the time. Because she would cook and she'd give us like baked sweet potatoes. And boy, she could cook some of the best biscuits you ever laid your mouth on.
Oh man, how would she make them from scratch? Because they didn't have the biscuit cans back then.
Everything from scratch.
Well, okay, let me ask you this, because one thing that I've always known since I was little is, man, Grandma Cat can cook. Grandma Cat can cook. Thanksgiving, Christmas, everything. So, where did you learn how to cook? Like, when did you start cooking?
I learned it from, I guess, my mama and say, see, holidays, we had a feast. Everybody from the city and roundabout come because they were hungry back then in the day, like it was like 29 people didn't have a lot. So all your relatives gonna come, mama like to cook 6, 7 cakes. She'd cook a big goose or something like that. Sometimes the stuff would be so big, she had to boil it in a wash pot, an iron wash pot, in order to cook it to make the dressing.
Right.
To make the dressing out of it. And then we'd have other meat. They'd always say about the killed hog. We killed out my dog. My dad raised and killed their own hog.
Yeah.
And processed the meat out. They'd always save a ham for Christmas. And say Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter, whatever. Everybody, most of the people at that time was in Course County and Dallas.
Right.
Our house was just like Grand Central Station all the time.
Oh man.
They always cooked and fed a lot of people. Like I say, people walking them down the highway would come to our house and stay for days, weeks, years, so they could eat. Cause we raised everything, and
Right.
And
So I'm assuming y'all would feed people in exchange for maybe work or, yeah.
My daddy with a lot of people would come in and work because they didn't have no food and no place to stay.
Right. So yeah, you can come work with me. We got food. We got somewhere you can lay your head. Oh, so
didn't have no money, but you got food. You got everything you want.
Everything you need to survive.
He made his own cereal. He grew corn. We had popcorn. All the peanuts you could eat. All the sweet potatoes, iced potatoes, greens, all kind of greens, every kind. Now we didn't. All kind of beans. And so they take those beans and they would dry them. They take canned stuff and they would can it, like plums, peaches, grapes, pears, and they just had buku of that stuff canned up for the winter and stuff, because they didn't work in the winter.
Oh, okay. So they didn't work in the winter.
They didn't work in the winter.
Because it's too cold.
Yeah, it was too cold, and then nothing wouldn't grow.
Nothing ain't growing in the winter.
Nothing ain't growing, so that's when they let the land rest, and they would apply it and process it and get it ready to plant whatever they're gonna plant.
Oh wow! So you would really have to, like, throughout the summer, spring, and fall, you got to grow enough food for the whole year.
Yeah, you kill enough hogs. You didn't like where to go and buy. You might kill. It depends on how big your family was. You kill 2 or 3 hogs. Okay, they had what we call a smokehouse. They kill that hog. They cut him up, they gut him, they process him, they season, and then they put him in this smokehouse. And so when you got ready for some meat, you go out in the smokehouse. Now, once a year, they killed a calf, and that was for the 4th of July. And what they would do to calf, somebody in the family, like you donate them this year, and somebody else donated them next year. They kill and they barbecue that calf. Evidently they didn't know how to do beef.
Right.
But they had the pork down good. So we'd have sliced bacon, ham, pork sausages, you name it.
Right.
They had it on the hog. And that's what they would process and put in there for the whole winter and summer till they come back hog talking. They didn't kill hog till the winter, until it got cold.
Right.
Because, so that's when they had time. There wasn't no work.
Right. Wasn't no work, wasn't no,
Wasn't no work going on then. So everybody would get together and help each other. Because each family probably had 3 or 4, 5 hogs to kill. And they'll process them 3 or 4 hogs in a solution and stuff.
Right.
And they put them in the smokehouse.
Right.
To keep. They have refrigerators and ice boxes.
Right. Right. So, okay. Let me ask you this, because this is a question I just thought of because I heard you say it earlier. You said your grandfather was a slave, right? Your papa.
My papa was a slave.
Did he ever tell you anything about it? Like, did he tell you? Does he remember anything?
No.
Or did you never ask him, huh?
I never knew it.
Oh, okay.
But my aunties and uncles and my daddies and everything told me a lot about him. They said he used to fight have chicken fights like Chicken George you see on television. They said that he had a lot more land than he did because whenever they come to Texas, he had, I think, 7 brothers up. They just went and staked off a big bunch of land. And they had a whole lot of land, a whole community belonged to them. Okay, so he gambled off, I guess you'd call it, some of his land, my grandfather, like on chicken fights, going different places.
Okay. So,
but they still had plenty of land left.
right, okay. Because one thing I honestly, one thing is a big topic today is people will say, well, to the black people of today, y'all wasn't affected by slavery. Like, y'all didn't go through it. Y'all didn't, and that's true. We didn't go through it, but they say, like, we're not affected by it. So I guess what I'm asking is, do you think it could be passed down, like certain things based on how you're raised? You know what I mean?
It is based on all things you never get to. Like, we wasn't in slavery like my parents were.
Right.
But we were still in slavery because of a lot of places you couldn't go in and eat.
Right.
Everybody,
you good.
They had colored restrooms and department stores like Dillard's, everybody's, and most places. You couldn't go in restaurants and eat. Most time, if the white restaurant sold food to the black, in my day you had to go to the window.
Right.
And you couldn't go in inside out.
Right.
And you had to go through the window if they sold. Most of them didn't even sell food to the black. You couldn't go like not traveling and see a station and say, well, I'm going to stop. Some of them might let you use the bathroom, and some of the white people would say we don't have no colored bathroom.
Right. Right.
And all that kind of stuff. So we had discrimination. We didn't have no black. I remember when the first 2 black women started working at Texas Electric Light Company. When it hot.
Right.
It was a big fight.
It was a big
that
thing.
Right fight.
Right. Yeah. No, that's.
And so we was in slavery. You couldn't sit at the front of the bus.
Right.
You had to go to the back. And mostly, if you was a man, and there wasn't no more seats, the white woman come in. If you didn't know to get up, they'd ask you to get up.
Right.
And let her sit down.
Right. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
But that's true.
Yeah, but that's the type of stuff that's been passed down.
Down.
You know what I think, as far as like with black people, the women are the strongest in the black race today. And
they always have been.
Right, but I think it come from slavery.
It comes from slavery all the time because she was the weak one.
Right. So she had
the woman was the weak one.
Right.
But she was strong.
Right.
Yeah. What she did, she had to do it on the code because they say you let your wife run your business. You let that woman run your business just like now. You macho, your wife is the weak one.
Right.
But your wife probably would be the one that's telling you what you need to do.
Right.
While y'all in the bed at night. It ain't your idea, it's her idea. That's the kind of stuff that had to go on. So she couldn't speak out. She couldn't speak out, she couldn't speak up.
Right. Yeah,
if he did, it made him look
weak,
macho and weak.
Right.
He couldn't run the business. He didn't know what he was doing.
Right there. So you got that. Yeah, that's true too. That's true too.
So that's the way it was back then. It wasn't no need of you going to school or trying to finish school that much because you wasn't gonna get no job nowhere but in the black school. I had 3 English that taught school.
Yeah. And they, it didn't do no, so.
And first cousin say, my second teacher was my first cousin.
Right. Right. Yeah, you told me that. That was your first cousin. Y'all used to get into it sometimes.
Yeah, we used to get in time because we've been used to calling her by her name.
Right.
And then we had to put the miss on that.
Right.
And we couldn't understand why
I gotta call her miss.
Yeah,
right.
now.
Right.
Well, how come now I've got to call her miss and I've been calling her name all the time.
Right. So, okay. This is the last question I got for you today, because we're gonna do this again. They said, ask your grandma what was the hardest moment of her life.
The hardest moment of my life when my husband died at 41 of 32, and I had 9 kids to take care, and I didn't have no income but what I had to work for. And sometimes I had 3 jobs in one day. Not part-time job, regular job.
Full-time, wow.
Full-time in one day. I had to work because I don't know whether I was too proud to be, or I just didn't have time to go to the welfare.
Right.
I had twins, and I had sent down to the welfare. They wanted to give me $35 a week and catch a bus and come down there, and that time got into it. Because it cost me 50 cents, I think, if I'm not mistaken, to go down there. And they wasn't giving me but $12 a week.
Right.
A month.
Right.
A month.
A month.
That was a week. I believe it was a week. It been so I believe it was a week. And the hardest thing was in 50. My husband became disabled to work on the job.
Yeah.
And it wasn't no other income.
Right.
It wasn't no disability, Social Security. Wasn't no nothing.
Right.
But I tell him this him. It was hard. But I wouldn't change a thing to where it brought me.
You do it the exact same way?
I do it the exact same way if I knew I was going to come out the exact same way.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's powerful. Well,
you think about God good, it made you think, Ain't nobody, none of my children been no queens and princes and however, but they all been human people.
right.
They ain't killed nobody.
Right.
Most of them work. Some of them been on drugs. Some of them been to the pen and stuff. But the most damage they ever did to anybody was to themselves.
Right.
I thank God for that. They didn't hurt nobody else.
Right.
I thank God for that because they hurt themselves.
Right.
I feel like those that deceased might have been living today if it hadn't been on drugs, but he was their choice.
Right.
I cried about it, I prayed about it, and I come to it is what it is. Thank God he's well as it is. Because some people have did some mighty low down things to other people. And I didn't have to bear that burden.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't have to bear that burden. I can bear a burden. Well, they gone, but they gone because they wanted to.
Right.
They had a choice. It was them.
Right. For sure. So, all right, until next time, Grandma Cat, I'm finna go get these kids.
All right, baby.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I will be back.
I love you.
Love you too, Granny.
I love you.